Hi everyone, I wanted to let you know that now you can get 14 days free trial in my online studio where you can come in and check it out, try out some of the videos, the different programs, and the journeys that we have going on. If you're interested, you can just click the link below in the description, and that's it. Soma also is very excited, as you can see.
So let's do some movement and a little bit of meditation. Let's do some yummy things. Okay, once you get to your mat or wherever you're going to be, just have a seat, comfy seat, legs crossed, or sitting on your heels or pillow, or if you want to lie down, you can lie down. And bring your hands, let's do palms facing up. And keep your eyes open for a moment. And consciously begin to soften, like really soften your hands. So they become like so tender and so receptive. And so one way that we communicate is with our hands. We communicate through it, if it's the creation of food or sweeping a floor or with each other through touch. Even like using our hands to speak. And we can communicate with our surroundings with our hands. So start to really become receptive through your hands. You can visualize like millions or more than that of little teeny tiny threads that are woven from your fingertip, wrapping through every part of your hands and all the way up through your arms and connecting into your heart. So that when you soften your hands, it literally softens these lines up into the heart space, up into the throat space, the space of communication. You can even visualize that these little threads start to fit into your brain space, the actual substance of the brain material. Create more space, we create more opportunity to become receptive, open. Now with your eyes open, just begin to soften whatever you're looking at. Soften your gaze so everything gets like a little blurry, a little mellow. And so we're just gonna like tenderize everything. Now imagine that becoming relaxed in one area of your body, like your fingers or your eyes, is actually contagious within the intelligence of your body. So one area of your body becoming softer, like nudges or teaches or encourages all the other areas, like a domino effect, through your body to become softer and softer, more spacious, more receptive. And feed your analytical mind with the information that when we become softer, we're just opening up the lines of communication for our entirety and beyond. Now start to soften your eyelids. You know, when you're really sleepy, your eyelids get heavy and they get heavier and they get heavier. So see if you can reenact this or induce this feeling. Get heavier and heavier through your eyelids until they ever so like sweetly just close. Now begin to feel your breath as it's like reaching into your body and it's touching areas where no one else can touch. So start to feel the touch of your breath. And start to allow the touch of your breath to access any tenderness, tender areas, any areas that you feel like you're protecting consciously or unconsciously. any areas that feel scared. And then also becoming aware of any areas that feel spacious, that feel like 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 shimmery or tingly or like joyous, happy, that feel balanced, equanimous. And see if you can allow these two kind of opposites. So the parts of you that feel like spacious and joyous and harmonious, and the parts of you that feel tight and tender and scared, insecure, whatever. Let these two areas coexist necessarily. So when you notice, or if you notice wanting to like push one of them away, one aspect, instead like wrap your arm around it and pull it in. Now bring your awareness into your leg bones and your pelvic girdle, and ask gravity to infuse or drench your bones, drench your pelvis even more. Imagine like gravity is a liquid and your bones are spongy and you're soaking up gravity. So you're getting more weighty, more earthy, more steady, more connected. And when we get weighty and earthy and steady and connected, we open up even more. It's like our roots grow down, 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 and that enables everything to grow up and spread out. Now we're going to do a little check-in. And this is to experiment with some inner communication, this art of communicating. So become aware of your physical layer, your physical aspects. And start to tune into any communication. And remember, it won't communicate in a man-made format. So this already requires that you like open up a space inside to receive a different kind of communication. So what is your physical aspect communicating to you right now? And you can do your best to translate or just receive whatever it is without categorizing or analyzing. Often then we stay open to receive larger insights than we would if we're in our analytical mind, which tends to be more limited. Just remember what it's like when you're telling a story and someone's just listening with like wide open eyes, wide open heart, what that feels like in communication. And see if you can listen to yourself in that same way. Listen to your body, listen to your physicality. Now, we're going to switch roles now after you've been listening to your physical aspects. And just check in, is there anything you want to communicate to your body right now? And imagine that when you are constructing communication, it's like creating art. You're creating a sculpture, creating a masterpiece that has a real effect on your whole being. If you find that when you're communicating with your body, it feels like you're communicating more from the upper levels of your body, see if you can drop the communication down into the feeling sense of your body. So you're communicating soulfully. Moving into the space of listening with wide open ears, wide open pores. What is the emotional layers. What are the emotional layers of you communicating right now? Let there be polar opposites. Try to continuously soften, as this helps to neutralize the tendency for liking and disliking and liking and disliking. Now reversing, so that now you communicate to the emotional aspects of you. So anything you want to communicate to these beautiful weather patterns, these powerful energies that move through you. We're going to shift now to our mental aspects, or I like to say thought formational. See if you can visualize your thoughts like they are birds in the sky, or it's something passing by. It can be insects, fish, clouds. It's something that you are familiar with, that you see, that you don't take personally when you see it. And then glide back into that space of open receptivity. Notice if there's any tension creeping in your body. If there is, just try to let it drip down into the earth so you can stay wide open to just receive. Allowing any labels of good or bad or right or wrong or better or worse to just dissolve. So you can fully take in all of the aspects of you that are here right now. Now, reverse the communication. So is there anything that you want to communicate to this layer of yourself? Crafting artfully your communication in a way that's beautiful to you, that's nourishing. Then we're going to move to the next layer, which is the soulful layer of yourself, or your spirit, your spiritual layer, or whatever you want to call it. That something, the beautiful beingness. Softening through all of your layers. Just listen to this aspect of yourself and see what it's communicating to you. Imagine you're moving into a space of complete openness, knowing nothing. And really allow it to enter. And then reversing the communication. Is there anything that you want to communicate to this aspect of self? Okay, now imagine all of these different aspects of yourself: physical, emotional, intellectual or mental, and spiritual or soulful, and then you all together holding hands. And merging together as one with all of the different aspects, the polar opposites, what sometimes we call the shadow and the light, and allowing all of these parts to come together in one masterpiece. Noticing that those areas that have more of a shadow allow the contrast to be seen. And in contrast, this is where we see beauty. As you consciously integrate these aspects, can you catch a glimpse of the complexity and the beauty and the art of your being? I mean, your whole being, like with all the parts. It's so unique. And is it possible to like sit fully in the wholeness of that without any need at all to take anything away or add anything more, just as you are? Now, as we move today in practice, we're going to move from this place. So my next question and final question for you before we start to move is, what do you ultimately want to express and communicate through the vessel of your beautiful being in movement practice and stillness practice today? In our movement practice, in the stillness practice, and then when you continue on in your day. You can express anything through the vessel of your body to communicate with anything you want to. You can communicate with something bigger. You can communicate with your next door neighbor non-verbally. I mean, in practice, you can send messages out to someone in a different country. You can send powerful messages within. And what is it ultimately that you want to create through that communication? Like, what is your biggest reason why for that? And here is where we anchor in devotion. The devotion, the heart, the pulse of our practice, the rhythm of our own unique creative spark comes from this place. This is what makes each of us unique in how we move about artfully in our life. Bring your palms together and feel your own touch. This is not something that we're accustomed to doing. But if you were to touch somebody else's hand right now, you would really feel certain qualities of that, their presence and their skin texture and temperature and all of that. So as you press your palms together, really zoom in to feel all the qualities of your own presence, the temperatures, textures, the radiation of your energy field, pulse, circulation, the intelligence of your body. Lift your heart a little up towards your brain and humble your brain a little to your heart. And again, then reconnect to this biggest reason why for whatever it is you want to communicate out through the art of your movement practice today. Then release your hands and come onto your hands and your knees. We're going to keep it pretty gentle, a little slinky. Feel free to always do what you want. Allow your practice to be where you can open up the vessel of your body to let something move through. So we're going to start with free form movement. For now, send your analytical mind just for a moment on a vacation to Spain or wherever you might want to go, so that you can let yourself move into a non-linear place where you're not analyzing each movement or if it's right or wrong or should or shouldn't be happening. You just let yourself make no sense with your body, like you're scribbling, like you're on the phone with somebody and you're just doodling with your body. Let your body do the talking. It's like your body and your breath start a yummy conversation. And let this conversation be in a language that you don't really understand. Eventually make your way back onto your hands and your knees. Spread your fingers really wide and see if you can find like a yummy, loving grip of your hands into the mat. So even the way that you touch your mat is receptive. Like you're pressing into the earth, but as much as you press into the earth, you stay open for a buoyancy to rise back up, to fill you up. Now take an inhale and arc your spine, starting from your sit bones and ending at the crown of your head. As you exhale, slowly glide your butt towards your heels, but not to rest on your heels. Then as you inhale, lift your pubic bone up towards your navel and begin to round forward sequentially through your spine to hands and knees. Chin tucks to chest. And as you exhale, tilt your sit bones up, arc sequentially through your spine as you glide your butt towards your heels. We're creating ripples or undulations. Inhale, curl your pubic bone towards your navel and round forward. And as you do, swell the back of your heart with breath. Exhale, stick your butt up, arc your spine, reach your heart forward as your butt glides back. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. As you do it 1 more time, again, become aware of what you're communicating through the movement, what it really means to you, and what is your biggest reason why. As you glide your butt towards your heels, lift onto your fingertips, slide your fingertips in front of your knees. Now sit to your heels, bring the sides of your thumbs together, then slowly roll the tops of your hands to come together so your fingertips point down. Keep rolling until your fingertips point towards your heart. Keep rolling now until you come to your pinky edges of your feet, or rather hands touching. And then keep rolling till the heels of your hands come together and your palms are in prayer. We're going to do this again. So sides of thumbs, tops of hands, sides of pinky fingers, and prayer. 1 more time. Sides of thumbs, tops of hands, sides of pinkies, palms in prayer. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Press your toenails into the floor. And then as you exhale, slice your palms down through the center and bring them to the mat. So when your butt is towards your heels and your hands are to the floor, you may need to slide them a bit more forward so that you can round forward and your shoulders will stack over your wrists. So inhale, round forward, and exhale, ripple back. Come onto your fingertips, drag your fingertips in front of your knees. Now this time, stand up onto your knees, pressing your pelvis forward, and do that wrist roll of your hands. Inhale, palms reach all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, swan dive, so hands go wide, arms go wide, heart forward, swan dive your hands back to the mat and slide them a little bit more forward. Curl your pubic bone towards your navel and inhale, round forward. Now this time, keep your pubic bone lifting towards your belly button as you lower your thighs and pelvis to the floor. Lower your navel down, then hug your shoulder blades towards one another. Lift your hands Spread your toes, press through your toenails, and firm your thighs. Then lift your heart. When you exhale, lower your heart back down to like squish or kiss into the mat. Then inhale, ignite your back body to lift your heart again. Spread across your collarbones, make more space. And exhale, slowly pour your heart back down. Imagine your heart like lava pouring down into the earth. One more time, inhale, lift your heart. Now this time, spark through your toes, spread them wide, and lift your legs. Rock a little bit here on your belly, like gentle little rocks, and feel all of the activation through your back body, creating some like warm, cozy heat. Take one more inhale, lift as high as you can. And as you exhale, plant your hands, tuck your toes, and glide back through active child's pose, meaning that your butt doesn't come all the way to your heels. You're like ready to pounce on somebody, and your heart is reaching forward. As you inhale now, round forward and really go slow through this round. Pull your front body towards your back body. And as you exhale, press your hands down and forward and glide into down dog. So let it be like a like a yummy, chill down dog where you just go around exploring with your breath as the primary communicator. Imagine in your practice, every aspect of yourself is in communication. So our physical aspects, they ignite, they start communicating. Our emotional aspects, they start communicating. Our mental aspects, they start communicating and chatting. Now, the breath has the power to soothe and restore all of these layers that sometimes can kind of flare up a little bit in a reactionary way as we practice. So anything that you feel and you experience, imagine you communicate. Imagine it first and then try it. You're communicating, your primary communicator in your practice to every layer of your experience is your breath. So when in doubt, add more breath. On your next inhale, lift your heels and slowly round forward, pulling your whole front body towards your back body and expanding your back body towards the sky into a rounded high plank. As you exhale, tilt your sit bones up and glide back into down dog. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank. And as you exhale, tilt your sit bones up, begin to slowly arc through your spine and glide back into down dog. As you inhale, round forward. And as you exhale, lower your knees to the floor. Inhale to arc here through your spine. And as you exhale, slide your bum towards your heels. Untuck your toes, drag your fingertips back in front of your knees. Come to stand onto your knees and do the wrist roll as you rise up. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive down, hands to the floor. Slide your hands a little forward and then inhale, claw the mat as you round forward again. And exhale, unfurl onto your belly. Come all the way down. Spider your fingertips off your mat to the sides and turn your fingers out just a little. Okay, ignite through your whole body. Spread your toes, press your toenails down into the floor, especially your pinky toenails. Hug your inner ankles to the midline, firm your thighs, activate your butt, and then press through your fingertips and slowly slither your heart up off the floor as you inhale. Okay, now stay up here a little bit and explore. So turning to one side or doing shoulder circles or lateral undulations or none of the above. But just go exploring a little bit. Sometimes the most beautiful art is created when we have no idea what we're doing, or the most beautiful discoveries when we feel totally lost. So I say it's good to get lost. Take one more inhale, and on this inhale, elongate. Grow your legs longer, grow your spine longer, grow your arms longer, grow your intention longer, everything longer. And then lower your heart, plant your hands, tuck your toes, glide back into down dog. Yummy. Okay, feel. Physically. Listening, taking it in, speaking back with breath. Emotionally, listening, taking it in, and communicating it back with breath. Same mentally, listening spaciously, communicate back with breath. And soulfully, spiritually. And notice the communication between this aspect and breath. Press through your left foot, and as you inhale, slowly reach your right leg up to the sky from the inner thigh. And then round forward, step your right foot to your right thumb. Sink your left knee down, and as you inhale, do the wrist roll, so sides of your thumbs come together as you reach your torso and palms up. As you exhale, flex your right foot, glide your pelvis back, reach your fingertips back, and curl your heart forward like a cobra position. As you inhale, step into your right foot, lift your left knee, and once again, do that wrist roll. Now see if you can find some kind of meaning to infuse into this wrist roll, into this expression through your hands. Press your feet into the earth, and then charge this position with whatever it is that you're communicating in your practice today. To see if it alters the shape or your experience of the shape at all. On your next exhale, place your hands to the earth and step back to down dog. As you inhale, ripple forward, high plank. Now every movement infused with whatever it is you want to communicate. Exhale, knees down. Arc your spine on an inhale. Elongate your heart forward, and exhale, glide your butt towards your heels. As you inhale, round forward, untuck your toes. And as you exhale, unfurl your pelvis and navel to the floor. Come on to fingertips. Inhale, peel your heart up into a long, yummy cobra, long in length. And then as you exhale, glide back into down dog, planting your hands, tucking your toes, and elongating into the pose. Press through your right foot. Inhale, stretch your left leg out slowly. Exhale, round forward and step your left foot to your left thumb. Sink your right knee sweetly down. And as you rise up, do this wrist roll, the expression through your hands, offering something up on an inhale. Exhale, flex your left foot, glide your pelvis back, curl your heart forward. Imagine whatever you're expressing, it's like pouring out of your heart and bowing to something. On your next inhale, glide into high lunge. Sides of the palms together, expression through your hands as you reach up and lift your right knee. And now stay here for just 1 or 2 breaths. And tapping in or tuning in or anchoring into whatever it is you want to like charge out or express within. And take 1 more inhale, express it even more. And as you exhale, place your hands and step to down dog. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, bring your knees to the floor. As you inhale, arc your spine. Exhale, glide your butt towards your heels, untuck your toes, slide your fingertips in front of your knees. Press your pelvis forward, and as you inhale, come to stand onto your knees and reach up. And as you exhale, arms go wide, place the heels of your hands onto your lower back. Okay, now like you would touch somebody else, like in a loving way, touch yourself in that same way so that you're receptive to listening to your body through the communication devices of your hands. And your body becomes more receptive also to the shape of the pose. Now root down your toenails, lift your pubic bone up a little towards your navel, pull in at your waistline, just like you're trying to lift your ribs up a little off your pelvic girdle. Hug your shoulder blades to the midline. Then curl your heart up. Think length up, like your heart is a fountain and it's shooting up. Then press your pelvis forward. And just take a few breaths. Now, sometimes in poses, we're like striving for more. So let this practice today be just about the enjoyment of being where we are and allowing that where we are, that place to be whole, to be good, to be enough. Take another inhale. Exhale, stick your butt back and to sit it down onto your heels, and the rest of your spine will follow. Bring your palms up onto your thighs, palms facing up. Soften through your hands, soften through your eyes, and spread that softness through your body. Remember, it's contagious, softness. Now, sinking for a moment into a place of listening, just listening. On your next inhale, circle your arms up. Imagine when you're circling your arms up, it's like you're hugging the sky. And as you exhale, bring your palms down to the mat. Slide your hands a little bit more forward. Inhale, curl forward through hands and knees. And exhale, roll onto your belly. Here, interlace your fingers behind your back. Bend your elbows. Hug your shoulder blades to the midline. And then root your toenails down. Activate your inner thighs, fronts of thighs, butt, pelvic floor, waistline, and curl your heart up off the floor. Now here is holding for a few breaths, and if you often go to like maximum volume or depth, see if you can glide a little bit away from that maximum volume. And find a place where you can feel nice and content. Spread your toes and lift your legs up. Now elongate. Think length, grow longer, and just see what happens to the shape. And then infuse it a little bit more with whatever it is that you're communicating. Communicating through the vessel of your being. Flex your feet, tuck your toes, plant your hands beside your waistline, and then begin to stretch your arms straight and lift your thighs up off the floor. Claw the mat with your fingertips. Begin to hug your shoulder blades towards one another. And then reach back through your heels, press down through your hands, and sprout the crown of your head up. Point your right toes straight back, so your whole right leg is lifted. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly glide to three-legged down dog. Stack your hip, bend your knee, and spread your toes. Press your hands down and forward. And begin to really spread your heart towards the back of your mat. Communicate to everything with your breath. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, round forward and step your right foot to your right thumb. Sink your left knee, and we're just going to do that same simple flow as before. Inhale, low lunge, finding meaning and expression through the movement of your hands, arms, legs, everything. Exhale, glide your pelvis back, curl your heart forward, and bow to something. Inhale, glide forward, high lunge. Give something away. Exhale, step to down dog. Inhale, round forward, high plank. Exhale, slowly lower your knees. Breathe in to arc your spine. Breathe out to untuck your toes and glide back, hips towards your heels, fingertips slide in front of your knees. Then inhale, rise all the way up onto your knees, palms up. Exhale, arms wide, heels of hands to your lower back. Feel your own touch. Gather through the midline and inhale, curl your heart up towards the sky. Exhale, press your pelvis forward, spread your heart wide, and move to a place that's breathable and sweetly enough. Begin to stick your butt back, sit to your heels, turn your palms up into your thighs. Keep your eyes open just for a moment with some softness, so everything gets a little bit like blurred, like watercolor, like a watercolor painting. On your next inhale, reach your arms wide and up like you're hugging the sky. Exhale, palms drift down to the earth, slide them a little bit forward. Inhale, round forward through hands and knees. When you exhale, pour your thighs, pelvis, and belly down. Interlace your fingers behind your back, and as you inhale, lift your legs and lift your heart. Spread across your collarbones and think length. spaciousness, making space, more space for communication between every single layer. Flex your feet, tuck your toes, place your hands beside your waist. Stretch your arms straight and lift your thighs. Press back through your heels, reach up through the roof of your mouth, and then point your left toes back. Whole left leg is lifted. Take a breath in. Breathe out and glide to three-legged down dog. Stack your hip and bend your knee. Check in with the various layers of communication: physical, emotional, thought, formational, and soulful. Now add more breath, so all of these layers can integrate. Take one more inhale. Now as you exhale, round forward and step your left foot to your left thumb. Sink your right knee. Remember what you're communicating as you inhale, rise, low lunge. Exhale, glide back and bow. Inhale, rise, high lunge. And exhale, glide to down dog. We're going to do that flow one more time. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees down. Arc your spine, breathe in. Untuck your toes and glide your pelvis towards your heels. Slide your fingertips back in front of your knees. And inhale, stand onto your knees, arms up. Exhale, hands to lower back. Feel your own touch and inhale, swell your heart to the sky. And exhale, express it out. Inhale, slowly begin to rise. Sit your bum to your heels. And as you exhale, place your palms onto your thighs. Arms go wide. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms to the earth. Inhale, round forward. Now this time, tuck your toes. And exhale, unfurl into upward dog with your toes tucked. Point your right toes back. Inhale. Exhale, three-legged down dog. Stack your hip, bend your knee. Breathe in here and stretch beyond the lines. Breathe out and lightly step your right foot to right thumb, sink your left knee. As you inhale, rise up, low lunge. As you exhale, glide back and bow. As you inhale, rise, high lunge. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, elongate your spine as you arc. Exhale, untuck your toes as your hips glide towards your heels and slide your fingertips in front of your knees. Inhale, stand onto your knees, reach up. Exhale, hands to your lower back. Inhale, grow your heart up. And as you exhale, press your pelvis forward and begin to offer something out. Inhale, glide your bum to sit to your heels. And when you exhale, place the backs of your hands onto your thighs. Arms reach wide. Inhale, hug the sky. Exhale, palms to the earth. Inhale, round forward. Tuck your toes. Exhale, unfurl into up dog. Point your left toes back and breathe in. Breathe out, glide to three-legged down dog. Stack your hip, bend your knee. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, ride the breath to step your left foot to left thumb, sink your right knee. Inhale, infusing with the devotion of your practice. Exhale, glide back and bow. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale to down dog. Now here, channel your down dog into the earth so it becomes a powerful force. Imagine hugging all of your tissues and muscles inward, the perfect amount towards your bones, and then elongating through the channels of your bones. firmly connecting through your foundation and like burrowing millions of roots to wrap the earth. And then remaining open and receptive to also have the same channels feeding up into you. You could visualize even that when you breathe in, you breathe into the earth. And when you breathe out, the earth breathes into you. As you inhale, lift your heels round forward. And when you exhale, lower your knees and come to sit to your heels. Turn your palms up onto your thighs. And then right back to where we began, just tenderizing or noticing what has become more spacious and tender, where you can feel more circulation. How can you notice that you've shifted since the beginning? Recognizing any little glimpses or insights that you have received. And sometimes the glimpses and the insights, they come in a uncomfortable format. So allowing yourself to be spacious so you can just listen. Okay, now if there's any like debris that you can let go of, anything that erupted up that you can clear, let's do that with like a sigh. Take a deep inhale breath. Become aware of any areas of tension in your throat, jaw, chest, solar plexus as you inhale. Hold the breath. Imagine that the structure of the breath is actually like magnetizing debris to it. So when you exhale, sigh and release, like. Now feel the after effects of the sigh. Okay, you can bring your left fingertips beside you and then step your right foot to the floor. Then from here, have your right fingertips to the floor behind you. If you can't reach, that's okay. You can use a block or you can just place your right hand onto your sacrum. And then bring your left arm to your outer right leg. Bring your index and your middle, or index and thumb tips together, but do it in a way kind of like when you get electrocuted by a charging device and you barely touch it and you feel that zzz. So see if you can have your touch here be that light. So sometimes it's a matter of looking for that point where you feel a little teeny tiny current. In this case, the currents want to stick, not repel. So you'll know because you'll feel like a tiny little magnet. Then inhale up through the length of your spine as you really activate your feet. Left toenails press down and right toes press down. And then as you exhale, try to unattach your mind from really twisting in a deep way. Let it be chill, mellow, and see if you can zoom in more to the subtle movements or sensations, communications that you can observe within. Okay, come back to the center. Reach your palms up, interlace your fingers, cross your thumbs, and keep your index fingers released and together. And then bring your arms up by your ears. So every position has a song or a meaning that is greatly influenced by the expression that we give it. Just like we all interpret art in different ways. So this position, what can you infuse it with? What communication, what expression, what does it feel like to you? What can you communicate out with this position? Bring your palms down. Now lean to the left. Bring the top of your right foot to the floor again, and lean to your right and step your left foot to the floor. Left hand to your sacrum, reach your right arm up, inhale. Now with your left hand on your sacrum, try to feel your own touch, and then exhale to turn and hook your right forearm to your outer left thigh. Bring your thumb and index finger together. Press down through your right toenails and your left toes and really grow like you're a plant. So you're always growing. It's not like you grow and then you stop growing. You keep breathing to nourish the growth, and you keep growing. Let the growth be like little bit by little bit, little bits of yumminess. Come back to the center and inhale, reach your arms up, interlace your fingers, release your index fingers and cross your thumbs, but cross the opposite thumb in front this time, and then reach up. Infuse the meaning, the expression, the communication. It's got to be meaningful for you. That's when it becomes resounding. Bring your palms down. Come back onto the top of your left foot. Widen your knees and then come into child's pose. When you go into child's pose, really take your time to like slowly sink down to deepen the crease from your thigh and torso. Now here, belly, heart, forehead, sinking into the earth. Expand the communication from your body, from your vessel, to literally communicate via your breath into the earth, just like we were doing previously. When we were inhaling, we were breathing in our breath into the earth, and when we were exhaling, the earth was breathing into us. Imagine that your breath is like water, and that your intentions, whatever you're desiring to communicate in your practice today, is like food coloring or some kind of tincture that you put in the water. Slowly begin to come back up and then come onto your bum. And instead of lying down, you're welcome to lie down if you want to lie down. Or you can sit up. Cross your legs, or if you're needing a little bit, if your feet are a little tingly, you can stretch your legs straight, whatever you need. Let your position be one where you're like it's like you can come home and just chill. Okay, now turn your palms down if you're sitting on your bum, your palms down onto your thighs or knees, and create the touch through your hands, the kind of touch that's like so soothing and nourishing. And then feel that touch and receive it. Imagining once again, maybe you can feel it even more, like your bones are like alive, like spongy, breathing beings, and gravity is a liquid, and you're sponging it up. Now imagine that the more weighted with gravity you become from your pelvic girdle down through your leg bones and into the earth, the more buoyancy begins to rise up through the central column of your spine. So your central column begins to grow like a vine, slow and steady. Now, as this vine grows, it's growing up, but it's also growing branches outwards. So there's this continuous growth in every direction. Then don't stop the vine at the top of your head, let it keep going out the top, and all the vines extending out every side of your brain. Now again, start to communicate or visualize communication through your breath via these branches. So imagine or visualize that when you breathe in, you're breathing into the atmosphere. When you breathe out, the atmosphere is breathing into you. Okay, now we'll do this little check-in again that we did at the beginning. So become aware of your physical layers and what communication is happening. And if there's anything you want to communicate to this aspect of you. Then to the emotions, your emotional layers. What are they communicating? How have they shifted or you shifted? And is there anything you want to communicate to them? Then to your thought formational aspects. What's being communicated? And is there anything you want to communicate? And finally, to the your soulful nature, your beingness, spirit. What is being communicated? And what do you want to communicate? And then bring your palms together, bringing all of these aspects together once again. Feel your own touch. And softening into the dynamic contrast of all these different parts of you. All these different parts that couldn't not make an art piece. The impossible. Lift your heart, humble your brain towards your heart a little, and then ask yourself, ask all these layers, what will you do today to really nourish some aspect of you? And that nourishment can be in the form of creating something or baking something or walking or doing, it can be anything. Choose something that you can do to really nourish you. And the final question is to remember what you want to create. And this can be like a bigger vision. It can also be something that you can't put into words. But to reconnect with that that mysterious spark that's in all of us, the creative spark. And most important, to the feeling sense of it. Don't try to make logical sense necessarily. Your biggest reason why. Thank you for doing this practice with me. I hope you feel yummy